This is a special presentation from News Channel Nebraska. The 2021 State Track and Field Championships are presented by Woodhouse Ford, Wayne State College, and Midwest Bank.
Championship Saturday at Burke Stadium in Omaha. Feels a little different this year than it has in years past, but it is no less important and no less fun. Thank you so much for joining us on News Channel Nebraska for live coverage of the Class C State Track and Field Championships. Alongside Patrick Jansen, I'm Eric McKay. Class C up first today. And Patrick, if today's anything like yesterday, we could see more records fall yesterday, an almost 4-decade record falling. We're expecting something like that maybe could happen again today.
Yeah, Carson Necker from Hardington Cedar Catholic came through with just a wonderful 3,200-meter run yesterday, and we'll see him again in the 1,600. It's going to be a little bit more of a challenging race for him, as he's got Peyton Davis from Aquinas, who's got the top overall time in Class C this year. That will be a competitive race to be for sure. One of the most fun parts about this is when you start today, you've only got 5 events in the books, so the scores are a little jumbled. You got a lot of teams with championship aspirations. We'll start to separate those out here over these first 3 or 4 events. Yeah, and it feels just completely indicative of this team race that we start off with the girls' 800-meter run, where you've got six runners from districts, all with times within 1 second of one another, and 9 all within 2 seconds of one another. So there's a very good possibility someone who's got championship aspirations might not even see the medal stand. That is going to be a competitive race, and the team race will be throughout the day as well.
Once again, final call for the 800-meter run.
We'll have all the live action
Class C 800-meter run.
With what's going on in field events as well. And
make sure you check in to the click of the start
joins us next
in the northwest corner of the track.
2021 State Track and Field Championships on News Channel Nebraska.
Performance.
And welcome back here to Omaha Burke High School, the site of the 2021 State Track and Field Championships here on News Channel Nebraska. Some more storylines that I'll particularly be following on the sidelines here in Class C. When you look at the fastest guy on the track here today, at least after the prelims, that is Southern's Connor Bradley. He will be in lane 4 for the 100, 200, and 400. He has a real chance to do some serious damage in those sprints. As for the girls' side as well, a very interesting storyline on the field side of things. Shayla Meyer of Superior, she is trying to be the 7th Meyer in 10 years. I should say the 7th year that a Meyer has brought home a gold in the past 10 years in the discus. Dating back to 2012, sister Alexandra three-peated as the discus champion. Then there was a 2-year hiatus where a Meyer did not win the discus, and then 2017, 2018, and 2019, some people know the name Kaylin Meyer, who now is at Nebraska playing volleyball. Her other sister was a 3-time discus champ. So now it's...
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Omaha Burke Stadium.
Did not compete this past year.
Please rise and welcome the first running event. And give them a big round of applause for the Class C 2021 State Track and Field Championship.
Eric and Pat, we're looking forward to a good one. Back up to you in the booth.
That we are, Brandon. Thank you, Brandon Axelman will be manning the sidelines all day today. There you see our first event already getting ready to get underway. This is the 800. We'll see 2 heats running against time. And, you know, on Thursday, we saw some events, and certainly the 800 was one of them where, boy, some of those in the first heat probably wished that they had just a little bit better of a district time, because we saw some really good times in the first heat. I believe it was Shishiba from Osmond finished 2nd from the first heat. That's incredible running.
Absolutely. That is setting your own internal clock, and just challenging yourself. Like you say, you'd like to be able to go up against the fastest, but you deal with what you've got being in this first heat, and goodness, did he make the best of it, getting onto that medal stand. And we'll see if we get anybody in the first heat to do the same.
It is hot in Omaha today, 72 already, very, very humid. 9-mile-an-hour breeze, but it's gusting. And it's, as they get around the turns, it's not doing much right now, but as they get around those turns, in particular on this front stretch here where the finish line is, they're going to feel it hitting them right in the face.
Yeah, not exactly ideal in the 800, which is a challenging race in its own right. I'd say these weather conditions probably favor the sprinters a little bit more than the mid-distance and distance. Meanwhile, Thursday, it was the other way around. It was cool and rainy. But there were plenty of really good sprint times thrown down on Thursday as well.
You know, the 800, I've always thought this is one of the toughest, if not the toughest event to try to figure out how to pace yourself. You know, the 400 tends to be a bit more of a sprint. The 1600, obviously, distance. This middle distance race, there's a lot of strategy involved in getting your best time.
Well, it's always interesting, too, to see who crosses over to which events.
Right.
Sometimes you have 800 runners who do the 16. Sometimes you have 800 runners who do the 400. And so you're pulling a race that's got a requirement of speed and endurance, and you're seeing which person pulls from which end the most. It's a challenging race to be